going to read a book of Little Women. Chapter 11 Secrets. One evening, while Meg was writing to father, Jo went upstairs to the bedroom. Beth was getting stronger each day. Still, Marmee never left her side. I want to talk to you about Meg, said Jo. Beth is asleep, said Mother. Speak low and tell me all about it. Last summer, Meg left a pail of gloves over at the Warrens, said Jo. Only one was returned. We all forgot about it. Then Rory told me that Mr. Brooke has the missing glove. He's kept in his vest pocket all this time, Jo added. Once it fell out and Rory joked about it. Then Mr. Brooke told Rory that he liked Meg. He didn't dare tell her so because she's so young and he's so poor. Isn't that disgusting? Do you think Meg cared for him? Asked Mother. I don't know anything about love and such nonsense, exclaimed Jo. Meg doesn't act the way the girls in books do when they're in love. She eats and drinks and sleeps as always. And she only brushed a little when Rory teases her about Mr. Brooke. So you think Meg isn't interested in John? Asked Mother. Oh, said Jo. Her mouth fell open. Mr. Brooke, said Mother. Father and I call him John. He took such good care of Father. We think he is an excellent man. We're very fond of him. He's been open to us about Meg. He means to make her a home before he asks her to marry him. I am a little sorry this is happening now. Meg is too young to marry, but we have told him he will have to wait a few years. I wish I could marry Meg and keep her safe in the family, cried Jo. She was upset, but she promised to keep the news to herself. It didn't take long for Rory to get the secret out of Jo. He was a little angry that Mr. Brooke hadn't told him first. He decided to play a trick on Mr. Brooke. The next day, Jo was handing out the mail from the post office. Here's a note for you, Meg, said Jo. It's all sealed up. How odd. Meg cried out as she read it. Dear, what is it? Asked Mother. Oh, Jo, how could you be so cruel? Meg hid her face in her hands and cried as if her heart were broken. Me, I've done nothing, exclaimed Jo. What are you talking about? You wrote this note, and that bad boy helped you. How could you? Sobbed Meg. Jo and Marmee read the note. My dearest Margaret, do you love me as I love you? If you do, please give me word before I return. I want to ask your parents for your hand. Mr. Lawrence will help me find a good job, and then, my sweet girl, we will be together forever. Send me one word of hope, thought Rory. Your loving John. So that's Rory's way of paying me back for not keeping my word to Mother, cried Jo. I'll give him a piece of my mind. Then I'll send him over to apologize. Jo was at the door, but Marmee stopped her. You play so many tricks to yourself, Jo. I want to make sure you didn't have anything to do with this one. Oh, my word, Mother, I didn't, said Jo. I've never seen the note before. Marmee saw that Jo was telling the truth. If this was my trick, I would have done it better, added Jo. Besides, Mr. Brooke wouldn't write stuff like this. But it looks like he's writing, said Meg. She was comparing the note with another one in her hand. Oh, Meg, you didn't answer him, did you? Asked Mrs. March. It's worse than I thought. Rory gave me the first letter a few days ago, began Meg. It looked as if he didn't know anything about it. I kept the letter a secret. I was deciding what to write back. The way girls in books do. Now I feel so silly. I've never been able to look Mr. Brooke in the eye again. What did you write, dear? Asked Marmee. I said I was too young to marry, replied Meg. I said I didn't wish to have secrets from you, that he should speak with Father, and I said I would be his friend, but nothing more for a long while. Jo clapped her hands and laughed. Wonderful, you're like a lady in a love story. What did he say to that? He wrote that he had never written me a love letter, said Meg, that he was sorry my sister Jo should play such a mean trick on both of us. Oh, Marmee, I feel so awful. Meg leaned against Marmee. Jo tramped around the room calling Rory's names. Mr. Brooke didn't send you this letter, said Jo, carefully looking them over. Rory did. He wanted to get back at me because I tried not to share my secret with him, and he kept your letter so he could crow over me with it. He's made trouble for me and for you. I mean to make him apologize. Joe ran next door. She didn't tell Rory why Mother wanted to see him. But when Rory entered the room and saw Mommy's face, he knew. Mommy spoke with Rory alone. When Meg and Joe were called in, they could see him regretted in blank. I never tell Brooke about this, said Rory. I promise you'll forgive me, won't you? It was an unkind thing to do, said Meg. I didn't think you could be so sly. But then Meg forgave him. Only Joe wouldn't look at him. She didn't say a word. So Rory left. As soon as he was gone, Joe wished she had said something. She ran next door. Rory was locked in his room. Grandfather shook me, said Rory, because I wouldn't tell him why your mother wanted me. I would have to told him my part's in it, but I couldn't without giving Meg away. He didn't know we have forgiven you, said Joe. You should believe me, replied Rory. Instead, he treats me like a baby. I've a mind to run away. If I get Grandpa to apologize for the shaking, will you give up running away? Asked Joe. Yes, but you won't be able to do it, said Rory. Mr. Ernest was in his library. I know the boys mean up to something, he said when Joe entered, but he won't tell me what it is, and I don't want you protecting him. Right is to do wrong, replied Joe. We have forgiven him and promised not to speak of it again. Well, if the boy wasn't talking because of a promise, said Mr. Lawrence. He ran his hands through his hair. I suppose I'll forgive him, but he's a stumble one. So I am, said Joe. But a kind word always works for me when nothing else will. Mr. Ernest looked at his small young woman. And what do you suggest I do? He asked. Why not send him a letter of apology? Replied Joe. I happen to know what Rory loved letters. If you wrote him man to man, I'm sure all would be right again. Mr. Ernest pinched Joe's cheek. His eyes were merry. You're a sly one, he said, but I don't mind being managed by you and Beth. I will write a letter this very moment. So Mr. Lawrence wrote a letter of apology, and Joe slipped in under Rory's door. Soon the matter was forgotten. Only Meg remembered. She never spoke of Mr. Brooke, but she thought of him a great deal, and she dreamed dreams more than ever. Thank you.